In college, I tank simulators for the Army. I'm a pro-police. I'm registered Democrat. I want to get that, rip the Band-Aid off right now. I'm pro-police. I'm a business owner. I'm on the board of the South Market Business Association. Business drives San Francisco. And part of the reason I decided to run this race is I looked at the pool of candidates and I just saw people that were going to reach into my business's pocket to pay the city's bills. And I can't afford it. So we need a more responsibly run government. And I think it's time we have a business person running the government like a business. We can do compassion while also being fiscally responsible.
Thank you.
Chris, circulating around this controversy which came up with the primary earlier this year, I'm noticing from your sticker you have a Chinese name. How did that come about, and is that going to probably qualify to be used on the ballot, or are they going to be having to go out there and pick something in random?
This Chinese name was rejected by the Department of Elections. They gave me a new one, but I haven't gotten new stuff printed.
Okay.
My niece actually majored in Chinese studies, and she gave me this name, but apparently that was good enough for the Department of
It's
Elections.
not, yeah.
Apparently, a young white woman giving me a Chinese name didn't carry enough weight. So.
Any other questions for Mr. Freedman?
Yeah, a question. How do you plan on balancing the budget in San Francisco? What's your plan for that?
I think there's a few ways to do that. We have to, all of our city agencies are poorly run. So we need to do a lot more work to figure out where all our waste is happening. So to give you a sense there, San Francisco's budget next year is $15.7 billion. Chicago's 5 times the size of ours, and their budget's $16 billion. And I won't say Chicago's better run, but for the money that they were spending, we're certainly not getting $15 billion worth. And as I explained to one of my Airbnb guests, I said, well, it's cheaper to fill the potholes with nickels than to use our services to do that. So something's wrong. So I'm going to figure out what it is. And I don't know exactly how yet, but I'm going to bring in auditors to come and figure out what's going on.
Good one. So often they say there's only 5 candidates running, and I haven't heard of you as one of those. I think there's 13 who qualified. Are you one of the qualified, or are you qualified?
Yes.
And then what do you prefer about Democrats to Republicans?
What do I prefer about them? I'm
Or the
co-chair
party.
for the Democratic Club, at the Home Shares Democratic Club, and I'll tell you where that came from. Back when Proposition F was being proposed and my livelihood was at stake because the hotels were trying to steal my source of income to their own pockets, we had to fight, and we weren't getting, the politicians weren't speaking to us. So we chartered as a Democratic club, and all of a sudden every supervisor met with us. So we happen to live in a city that's run by Democrats, and I'm going to be honest with you, a Democrat's going to be mayor. Hats off to Ellen. I support you 100%. You did a fantastic job last time, and you're going to do really well this time, but I don't think the Republican's going to win. So I think the thing to do is to pick the Democrat that's going to be the one that's going to at least be willing to do the hard work in San Francisco.
There's not principles that you prefer, it's just practical.
So, sure, yes, I'm a gay man, and I was coming to grips with my sexuality during the Reagan administration. Left a pretty bad taste, to be honest with you, for the Republican Party, because Reagan was not really Reagan's administration did not make my life easy back then. So I gravitated towards a party that was a little more welcoming, and the Republican Party has changed since then. It's much more, look at the people in this room. This is a level of diversity. It's a level of diversity you don't find in some Democratic clubs, actually. So I put myself just barely left of center. So I'm in San Francisco, I'm probably a Republican. On the national stage, Democrat. Yeah.
Delegate Fleckman.
So for your Home Share Democratic Club, which Republicans have you endorsed so far?
We endorsed, the first year we endorsed a Republican for mayor. The charter prohibits you from endorsing non-party candidates for partisan offices. The mayor's a non-party office, so we were only allowed to endorse a non-party person for mayor. And doing so actually got the club at risk of decharter.
Vice Chair Remmer.
Yeah. You mentioned you have a dozen $500 donations. So do you know how much you've raised altogether?
9,000. I haven't started a big fundraising campaign.
Yeah, that's right.
Kaburi?
What was your stance on the recall of Gavin Newsom, and how did you feel about the COVID lockdowns of businesses in San Francisco?
I did not support the recall of Gavin. I opposed most of the COVID lockdowns. So, and again, as a short-term rental host, we were prohibited from even running our businesses. We couldn't even host, sorry, my phone's going. We couldn't even host travel nurses who were staying here to work and fight on the front lines. And the way the COVID lockdown was written, we couldn't actually have these people stay with us and give them an affordable place to be here to do their work. It was way too much. The businesses, at the time I was on the Council of District Merchants Associations, and the CDMA was fighting against most of the COVID lockdowns. I think we have to do things for public health, but I think that also, this is a free nation and people should be allowed to make their own choices give people proper information and make their own choices.
Any other questions from delegates? Mr. Freedman, I have two final questions for you. Did you grow up here?
I grew up in Denver, Colorado, Aurora.
Okay. And are you taking matching funds?
I'm on the public fund financing.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.